existing medical guidelines provide for that situation, and they permit all medical treatment which is necessary to save the life of the mother and, if possible, the life of the child. It recognises that it won't always be possible to save the life of the child, particularly if in the scenario that you outlined, but that there are medical procedures there for dealing with that situation which are not direct abortion and do not directly take the life of the child. And I think that principle of not directly attacking the life of the child is central to the whole point that human life is sacred, and once you concede on that principle, you open the floodgates.
But I'm just putting this out there. The right of the mother to survive that should be paramount as well. And
that is paramount.
And can I just again, I'm just putting it to you that the X case specifically allows for terminations in case of suicide having been proved. If you're talking about bringing in guidelines, that doesn't address the issue that was in the X case. That continues us in effective legal limbo. How are guidelines due to appropriate to address the issue of suicide? Or are you hoping that it can just be moved down the road and we forget about that particular aspect of the judgment?
Well, I think very many people recognise that the judgment in the X case is flawed. That it wasn't based on any expert opinion. The court didn't take the opinion of experts when it came to that conclusion that there was a threat.
Bishop, can I just say, it is a ruling of the Supreme Court, which is the highest court in the land, which you and I, as citizens of the state, have an obligation to respect and uphold.
I respect the Supreme Court, but I don't believe they're infallible. And I think that this particular decision was taken without any expert medical advice. I think medical research and practice in the meantime would not support the conclusion that they came to, namely that abortion is a remedy or a cure for somebody who is threatening suicide. There are many ways of caring for a person who threatens suicide. It's been done every day of the week in other situations, and I think it can be done here.
Can I I want to finish up on this. The Supreme Court, therefore, in the Bishop's opinion, was wrong.
In
your opinion, at least.
In my opinion, it was wrong. And I think that one of the disappointing things about the report of the expert group is that it didn't put all the options on the table because it didn't look at the option of an amendment to the Constitution to outlaw the X case. And for some reason, there
was a referendum and people were asked whether they could remove that, and they decided not to go for that, Bishop.
They decided by an extremely narrow margin, and I think that it is
we can't cherry pick the law. We can't choose to ignore the Supreme Court. We can't choose to ignore slender majorities in referenda.
We have done it. We have done it before in European. We've had a number of repeat referenda on European issues. I don't see why we can't do it on the most fundamental issue of all, the right to life.